Hello students, myself Milan Patel, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today's topic is about thermal insulation. So let's begin. First of all, we will see introduction of thermal insulation. When there is difference in temperature of inside of a building and outside atmosphere, heat transfer takes place from areas of higher temperature to the areas of lower temperature. In cold regions, when buildings are internally heated, where outside temperature is very cool, it is necessary to check this heat loss from the building. Similarly, in very hot regions, when buildings are internally cooled and outside atmosphere is unbearably warm, it is essential to check the entry of heat into the building. Thermal insulation is used to indicate the construction or provision by way of which transmission of heat from or in the room is retarded. Okay, so by using thermal insulation, we can easily retard, or you can say we can easily resist the heat from inside to outside or outside to inside. Okay, the aim of thermal insulation is to minimize the transfer of heat between outside and inside of the building. Okay, this is called as thermal insulation. You can clearly see this in this figure also. Okay, now let's see what are the advantages of thermal insulation. First advantage is the comfort. Thermal insulation keeps the room cool in summer and hot in winter. This results in comfortable living of the people who are living in that particular building. Second advantage is fuel saving. Since heat transfer is minimized due to thermal insulation, less fuel is required to maintain the desired temperature in the room. So you can easily save fuel, or you can say you can easily save the energies. Okay. Next, prevention of condensation. Use of thermal insulating materials inside a room results in prevention of condensation, or you can say moisture deposition on interior walls and ceilings. Okay, so by this way, the durability of the materials inside the building can be increased. Next is prevention of freezing and heat loss. By using thermal insulating materials, you can easily prevent the freezing of water taps in the extreme winter and heat loss in case of hot water system. Okay, so these are the various advantages of thermal insulation. Now let's see thermal insulating materials. The first material is slab or block insulation. Second is blanket insulation. Third is loose fill insulation. Fourth is batt insulating materials. Fifth is insulating boards. Sixth is reflective sheet materials. And the seventh is lightweight materials. We will understand these all types of thermal insulating materials one by one, starting with the first slab or block insulation. Okay, this is how slab or block insulation looks like. The blocks are made of mineral wool, corkboard, cellular glass, and cellular rubber, or you can say sawdust. These are fixed to the walls and roofs to prevent heat loss and maintains required temperature. These boards are available in 60 cm by 120 cm or more area with the thickness of 2.5 cm. You can clearly see how this slab or block insulation can be installed in the building. That's all about the first type of thermal insulating material. Now let's see the second thermal insulating material, blanket insulation. Okay, this is how blanket insulation looks like. These materials are available in blanket shape or like paper roll, which are directly sprayed over wall or ceilings. They are flexible and having a thickness of about 12 mm to 80 mm. These blankets are made of animal hair or cotton or wood fibers. Okay, so this is called as blanket insulation. This is used as thermal insulation in number of types of buildings. Next thermal insulating material is loose fill insulation. This is how loose fill insulation looks like. Stud space is provided in wall where windows and doors are to be provided. In the studding spaces of the wall, loose fill of some insulating material like this is provided. The material used in loose fill insulation are rock wool, slag wool, wood fiber wool, cellulose, etc. Okay, and this is how the loose fill insulation is sprayed in these spaces of wall. Okay. The fourth type of thermal insulating material is bat insulating materials. These materials are also available as blanket rolls, but bat insulating rolls are having more thickness than blanket type of materials. You can clearly see the thickness of bat insulating material is comparatively more than the previous blanket type thermal insulating material. Okay, these are also sprayed over the walls or ceilings. Okay, so you can easily spread these bad insulating materials in the walls or ceilings. The next type of thermal insulating material is insulating boards. This is how insulating boards looks like. These boards are made from pulp of wood, can, or other materials. This pulp is pressed hard with some stress at suitable temperature to make it as a solid board like this. They are available in many sizes in the market. These are generally provided for interior lining of walls as well as for partition walls. Okay, so in this type of places, insulating boards can be used. The next type of thermal insulating material is reflective sheet materials. This is how reflective sheet materials looks like. These materials are made from aluminum sheets, gypsum board, steel sheet, okay, and these have more reflectivity and low emissivity. Okay, so these materials are having high heat resistance also. The heat gets reduced when solar energy strike and gets reflected. Okay, because of the reflectiveness in this material, the solar energy strike and gets reflected. Because of that, the heat gets reduced. Okay, these are fixed outside of the structure to stop the heat entrance into the building. Okay, this is called as reflective sheet materials. And the last type of thermal insulating material is lightweight materials like this. You can use lightweight aggregate, you can use lightweight concrete. Okay, lightweight concrete will have more heat resistance if it is made of lightweight aggregates like blast furnace slag, vermiculite, burnt clay aggregates, okay, etc. These are the various types of lightweight aggregate available in the market. Okay, and by using these materials, you can easily make this type of lightweight concrete. And by using lightweight concrete, you can easily reduce the heat transfer. Okay, so these are also used as the thermal insulating material. That's all about the various types of thermal insulating materials. Now, let's see the choice of insulating material, or you can say the factors affecting the choice of insulating material. The choice of insulating material mainly depends upon the cost of material, then area to be covered, standard of insulation required in the particular area of the building, cost of heating or cooling. Okay, these are the various factors which can affect the choice of insulating material. Now, insulating material should have the following properties like it should have higher thermal resistance. Okay. Next, it should be reasonably fireproof also. Okay, because of the higher heat, it cannot be in the fire. Okay. It should be insect proof or you can say termite proof. It should be durable or you can say long lasting. It should be non-absorbent of moisture. It should be cheaper also, and it should be readily available in a particular area. Okay, so these are the various properties of the insulating material. Okay, or you can say these are the various properties of good insulating material. Okay, so this is the factors and the properties of good insulating material. Now let's see general methods of thermal insulation. Apart from providing thermal insulating materials on the walls, roofs, doors, etc., thermal insulation can also be achieved by the various methods. Like first is by orientation. If you decide the proper orientation of the building, you can easily resist the heat, or you can say you can easily get the thermal insulation. The orientation of the building with respect to the sun has a very important thing on its thermal behavior. For optimum orientation, there are usually conflicting requirements of the user. Okay, minimum transfer of solar heat is desired during the day in the summer, while heating of rooms by solar heat is required during the winter. Okay, so the proper combination of summer as well as winter, or you can say proper combination of the heat transfer in between summer and winter is required in the particular building, and you can easily set by the orientation of the building. Okay, the second method of thermal insulation, other than providing thermal insulating material, is by shading. While shading of roof brings down the surface temperature, it is very difficult to achieve this effect in the practice, especially when the altitude of angle of the sun is quite high during the period of peak heat gain in the afternoons between 11 hour to you can say 15 hour or 3 p.m. Okay, raising the parapet walls can help only when the altitude angle of the sun is very low, but the cost may not be commensurate with the effect obtained. Okay, so by shading also you can easily get the thermal insulation. And the third method is by proper height of ceiling. The heat gets absorbed by the ceiling and emitted downwards, that is, into the building. But the point should be noted is the vertical gradient of radiation intensity is not significant beyond 1 to 1.3 meter. It means it can travel up to 1 to 1.3 meter downward from the ceiling. So the provision of ceiling at 1 to 1.3 meter height from the height of occupant will reduce the some heat loss. Okay, so by providing proper height of the ceiling, you can easily get the thermal insulation in a particular room or particular building. Okay, so these are the various other methods than providing thermal insulating material in walls, ceilings, doors, etc. Okay, now let's see how you can insulate the roofs. Okay, heat gain through roofs may be reduced by adopting various methods. The first method is application of heat insulating materials on the roof. Okay, by this figure you can clearly see how you can uh, provide this thermal insulating material on roof. Heat insulating materials may be applied externally or internally of the roofs. Okay, in case of external application of this material, heat insulating material may be laid over the roof but below a waterproof course. Okay, you can use this material over the roof but below the waterproof course. In case of internal application, heat insulating material may be fixed by adhesive or other on the underside of the roof from within the rooms. Okay, by from within the rooms you can easily attach or you easily glue this thermal insulating material on the ceilings. Okay, in this figure, you can clearly see false ceiling is provided below the roof with air gaps in between. Okay. Second method of thermal insulation of roofs is for flat roofs. External insulation may also be done by arranging asbestos cement sheets or corrugated galvanized iron sheets on bricks as shown in this figure. Okay. So for flat roofs, this is how you can insulate the roofs. Okay. Third, shining and reflecting materials may be fixed on the top of the roof. Okay, to reduce the heat. Okay. Fourth, roofs may be flooded with water in the form of sprays or otherwise. Loss due to evaporation may be compensated by makeup arrangements. Okay. Next, roofs may be whitewashed begin on set of each summer. Okay, so when summer is coming, you have to whitewash the roofs to reduce the heat. Okay, or to provide the thermal insulation of roof. Next, top exposed surface of roof may be covered by 2.5 centimeter thick layer of coconut pitch cement concrete. Okay, this is how coconut pitch cement concrete looks like. It is made of coconut pitch. Okay, such a concrete is prepared by mixing coconut pitch with cement and water. After laying, it is covered with an impermeable layer and then allowed to dry for 20 to 30 days. Okay, so if you provide this coconut pitch layer having thickness 2.5 centimeter. Okay, on the top of the exposed surface of the roof, you can easily get thermal insulation. So that's all about the various methods for thermal insulation of roofs. Now let's see how you can do thermal insulation of exposed wall. Okay, the heat insulation of exposed wall may be achieved by the various ways given below. First, the thickness of the wall may be increased. If you increase the thickness of the wall, the overall heat which is penetrating into the wall can be reduced. Second, cavity wall construction may be adopted for external walls. Okay, if you made cavity wall, then the overall heat which is passed through the wall is reduced. Okay. Next, the wall may be constructed with the help of heat insulating material having consideration of the structure requirements. Okay. Next, heat insulating materials may be fixed on the inside or outside of the exposed wall in such a way that the value of overall thermal transmission is brought within the desirable limits. In case of external application, overall waterproofing is also the essential. Okay. Next, light color whitewash or distemper or you can say color may be applied on the exposed side of the wall. Okay. So this is how you can do thermal insulation in the exposed walls. Now let's see how you can do thermal insulation of exposed doors and windows. In dealing with heat insulation of exposed windows and doors, various methods can be adopted like this. First is reduction of incidence of solar heat. This may be achieved by the various means like external shading such as louvered shutters, sunbreakers, chhajjas, etc. Second, by internal shading such as curtains, then Venetian blinds, etc. Okay, so by this way you can easily reduce the incidence of solar heat into the building. Okay. And the second method is reduction of heat transmission, where glazed windows and doors are provided. Reduction of heat transmission may be achieved by providing insulating glass or double glass with airspace or by any other suitable means. Okay, so this is how you can reduce the heat transmission through the glass. Okay, you can use insulating glass or double glass with air in between. Okay, so these are the various method of thermal insulation of exposed doors and windows. That's all about today's lecture. Thank you for watching.